Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
How'd you like to have a seat in this plane? Hurricane Hunter aircraft penetrating into Matthew to take readings, to drop instruments and get recorded data, to feed into the models that have produced such amazing results with this particular storm. That looks really scary to me. Bob Harrigan took one of those flights, I think about 15 years ago or so, as a media passenger. You wouldn't catch me on there. I'll tell you what, they pass out air sickness bags. They just burst into the eye wall there, as you can see. The clear skies went from torrential rain to clear skies. Almost lost one of those planes a few years back as they flew a little bit low and the ocean spray took out a couple of engines. It was a harrowing experience. They changed the rules since then on how low those planes can fly. So we're looking at some nice viewer photos that were sent in. This by Michael sent in this beautiful picture of a cloud, a shelf cloud moving across the region earlier yesterday over the Ringling Bridge, producing some pretty good rainfall. It was within these cells of showers that moved on past that we saw actually our strongest wind gusts. We had some 40-mile-an-hour, 42-mile-an-hour wind gusts reported, mostly in Charlotte County. Didn't see anything but the wind gusts exceed tropical storm force. Sustained winds did not. Temperatures across the region today held down just a little bit by cloud cover. Tomorrow we're going to see a lot of sunshine and still temperatures held down a little bit by a northwest wind drawing down some drier, cooler air. Should be a beautiful weekend. 81 degrees Wauchula, 83 in Myakka, 82 in Parrish, Bradenton, 83 Sarasota, Venice, Inglewood, 84 Northport, and Punta Gorda comes in at 83. Okay, getting to it. Hurricane Matthew, 120-mile-per-hour winds just discovered in the southeastern quadrant of the storm. This has been a tremendously surprising storm. Still a Category 3 storm. It has been a Category 3 storm or stronger for 7 days. That is remarkable. The storm itself now just off Daytona Beach, continuing to lift northward close to Jacksonville with time. By 8 p.m. tonight, it should be pretty close to our Florida-Georgia border. Then lifting northward, kind of skirting the coastline. Heavy torrential rains produced here, as well as some onshore flow that could lead to certainly some storm surge. Jacksonville area, the highest probability of storm surge exceeding 7, perhaps 12 feet. Then the system does a little loop-de-loop under the influence of a blocking high-pressure ridge and is pushed southward. Most likely, though, upper-level winds will tear this system apart out here in the Atlantic, and I doubt it does much more than provide perhaps a little bit of midweek moisture next week. As far as the forecast goes, I still think rough seas are our biggest problem over the course of the afternoon. Seas will take a little longer to come down than winds, and in fact, the impact of the tropical weather on our local weather is pretty much nil, with the exception of those rough seas out there. Stronger storms, maybe a few around, mostly in Hardee County and northeastern sections of Manatee County. A little bit breezy. I hasten to call it windy, or hesitate to call it windy. A 15 to 20 mile per hour wind, perhaps. A little bit stronger gusts out in Gulf waters, no doubt. And seas will still run kind of high the further out you go at 10 to 14 feet out there. So do be careful. Stay in port today. Buzz sawing up the coast. Matthew still continues to sling back very heavy rainfall along that coast. The eye wall looking a little more ragged, perhaps, but still 120 mile per hour winds found. Solid thunderstorm activity all around the eye wall ensures that there won't be much weakening of this system as it lifts north. The tide gauges in around Peace River showing right now about a 3-foot rise in most locations that I checked. This system still has its strongest winds yet to push water into the Peace River. So inland flooding is going to be a real issue. Also storm surge issues as it lifts northward up around this little crook in the geography between Florida and Georgia will cause some perhaps large-scale swells of water and storm surge in excess of 11 feet. Plus the wave action on top of that, plus tidal levels, not good. Although that will be coming at a time of low tide up here around that area of the geography of North Florida, up along the First Coast. Our neck of the woods not seeing a whole lot of rainfall, really. Don't expect to see much in the way of banding showers move through here. That's not really a big issue for us. As the system moves away, high pressure will build in, and we'll see a northwesterly wind flow draw down drier, pleasant air. So we look for breezy conditions today, a few scattered showers and winds that are perfectly fine. But the rainfall along the Carolina coastline stretching back as far as Raleigh to south to Charleston will be excessive, perhaps as much as 15 inches of rainfall, and that certainly will lead to some issues. 7-day forecast looks like this: about a 50% chance of a scattered light shower today, then tomorrow clearing, sunnier and cooler with lower relative humidity, and perhaps next week we'll look at a little residual moisture moving in from what's left of Matthew. Back to you.